What is up, guys? It is Amber Blue and welcome back to my channel. As you can tell by the title of today's video, we are going to be talking about the worst dates I have ever been on. Without further ado, let's just dive right into it. Date number 1. Let's take this all the way back to high school. So, I was 16 or 17 years old. I say that so you don't judge me. Me and my first boyfriend had just broken up because he cheated on me. No, I'm kidding. Well, I'm not kidding about the cheating. Like, he did cheat on me. But me and him are still really cool. We're not really cool, but like, we cool. Like, no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like, we were kids. So, I was 16 or 17, all heartbroken because me and my first boyfriend had just broken up. So I did what any immature girl does when you and your boyfriend just broke up. I go out, honey. So me and my girl got together, and I remember it was like summer. It was like school just got out, so we ready to party. Me and my girl are having a good old time. So, you know, we're looking around, going through the crowd. We like, where the daddies at though? Where the daddies at though? I look up at the DJ booth and I see the finest men I have ever seen in my life. He was like such a baddie to me, like at that age. When I saw him, I was like, Lord. He was like 6'3", light skin, blue eyes, like, whoo. So me and my girl, we continued dancing, chit-chatting, whoop-de-whoop. And then he comes up to me, makes a beeline straight for me. He taps me on the shoulder and he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so. What's your name? And I was like, oh my gosh, he's talking to me. Amber, nice to meet you. So me and him get to talking and whatever, and I find out he's like 21.
Holy crap.
I felt like the woman. I was just like,
I'm done with these little boys. I'm only dating grown men from now on. Messing me, what again?
At the end of the night, we end up exchanging numbers. So yeah, that's the backstory of how we met. Now let's get into the date. And so he was like, yo, we should hang out. I was kind of nervous. Like, I didn't want to just go out with him by myself. So I asked my friend, like, hey, can we go on a double date? And she was like, yeah, for shorty Bobby. So we had all planned to meet up at 6 p.m. at Lucille's. Me and my girl get there early. You know, we're shopping around, trying to calm our nerves. And she was actually dating like one of my childhood friends who was like a brother to me at the time. So he had hit her up and been like, hey, like, I'm at basketball practice, like I'm gonna be late, whoop de whoop. So then me and my girl go to Lucille's and we're like sitting there and we're waiting, and I realized like, yo, it's like 6:30. Where's my date at? I text him and I'm like, hey, like, are you on your way? He hits me with some, oh, my car has a flat tire. Are you still gonna make it? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna be there, no worries. I was like, okay, for sure. Me and my girl are sitting there passing the time, whatever, and now it's like 7, and I'm like, okay, both of our dates are still not here, so we looking like fools because the waitress keeps coming by being like, do you guys want to order? We're like, no, we're waiting for our dates, and she's like,
these poor pathetic hoes got stood up and they can't take the hint.
Around 7:30, my friend who's like a brother to me showed up, and I'm a third wheel. By this point, I felt like boo-boo the food. And the thing that sucked was like I couldn't even go home because my friend had drove us. So I'm not gonna make her leave her date to take me home because my man didn't show up. So I'm just sitting there looking stupid. So finally, he texts me and says that he's walking up. I go outside to meet him with the intention of saying, you got me
Babe, broken curve out too messed up. If you really think that you're gonna have me waiting here for over 2 hours, and I'm gonna just be okay with it, no, go home, boo.
Tell me why when I saw that boy, I was like, hi. Now we are all together and walking through the mall. My two friends were hella booed up, holding hands, whispering sweet nothings into each other's ear. And then my dude, he didn't even seem like he wanted to be there with me. The terrible thing is though, that made me want him more. My goal for the night then became to get him to kiss me. I know that you guys are probably shaking your heads right now, but in my 16-year-old logic, I was thinking,
maybe the glossiness of my lips will get him to like me.
It is now 9:30. Tell me why he turns around and says,
Hey, I'm actually DJing at a party tonight and I need to be there by 10.
I walk him to his car. And I'm so trying to kiss this dude. Oh gosh. Oh, he was so not with it. I really got rejected. My ego was shattered and my confidence was broken in that night. Now for this next date. Me and my same friend, we had gone out to downtown Fullerton. And we were out whoop-de-whoop again, dropping it low, picking it up. So we're walking to my car and we see this group of guys. And there was this super cute white boy. Like, he had on the black v-neck, he had a chain on, ripped jeans, dope shoes. I was like, oh, you better stop it, boy. I was feeling him, honey. He comes up to me, we start chit-chatting, exchange numbers, and I go home. So he hits me up and asks me if I want to go to church with him, and I was like, you love Jesus. But I was playing hard to get, so I told him, no, don't use Jesus to try to get to me. He decides that he wants to meet up at Chipotle. Now, I ain't got no problem with Chipotle. I like Chipotle, but dang. For a first date, can we meet up somewhere that you don't pay at the register? Anyways, I meet him at Chipotle. It's like 2 p.m. and I damn near didn't recognize him because his switch up game was so strong. Look, I don't have anything against, you know, your personal style, but I thought I was getting me a Justin Bieber, not the member from Green Day. I'm confused. So we're sitting there, he's like scarfing down his Chipotle and he's asking me about all of these things that I have no idea what he's talking about. I was just super confused and was not following. 15 minutes into the day, I had already decided I was over it. Then he asked me if I want to go see a movie. I'm like,
Free movie? We don't have to talk? Okay.
anyways, we go into the movie theater and let me tell you, this love train had already gone left, but this is when it just flew off the tracks and blew up. We get to our seats and unfortunately for me, like, the little cup handle was up. And so on the sly, I was trying to be like, but he saw me trying to do it and he was like, oh no, you can leave it up. I was like, I want the down though. Before the movie even starts, we at the preview, son. I feel like hand coming up and over and around my shoulder and pulling me close. Now the movie is starting and he leans over and whispers in my ear and is like, do you want to lay down? Lay down? For what? For why? Before I could even process what he was saying, he was like leaning me over. So now I'm like laying in his lap and I am so uncomfortable at this point, guys. I don't know why but I was too nice to be like, get off of me. So now I'm just praying that this movie is the shortest film to ever hit theaters. I'm thinking this whole time, how can I get out of this situation? I feel so uncomfortable. So I'm like, I got it. I need to go to the restroom. I go back in the theater. I just sit upright, like no contact with him. And he leans over again and says, can I give you a massage? I kid you not, I could not help my face, but I looked at him just like this.
Bruh.
We're in the movie theaters. Like, what? No. Then I feel a hand plant itself on the top of my head. He starts rubbing my head like this. The whole time I'm like, in my mind I'm like, what are you doing, bro? At the time I had a weave, so I'm like, bro, you don't want to feel the secrets that are in this head. Like, get your hand out of my hair. So now he's rubbing my head all up in my track secrets and braids. I'm like, what you doing, bro? You don't touch a black girl's hair. Like, it's in the Bible. Thou shalt not touch thy Brazilian mane. Finally, this movie is over. And this dude was like, so what do you want to do now? I want to get my ass the hell up out of here. That's what I want to do. Walks me to my car and he was like, can I get a kiss?
Oh, hell no!
I don't kiss on the first date. Then he had said, oh, well, that's cool. It'll just make it more special next time. You think there's a next time? Thank you guys so much for tuning in and watching this video. I hope that it made you chuckle at least once, laugh at my pain. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more material from me. And if you'd like to see more of me on your feed, you can go ahead and follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I'm not really on Twitter like that though, but you can follow me on Instagram because I do be on there, and Snapchat.